Hi, I'm Danny Griffin, mindset expert and founder of FreeThinking Tools with this week's Monday Motivation. Have you ever felt like you were stranded on a desert island and emotionally bankrupt? Maybe it's not really anything majorly dramatic like that moment, but perhaps it's just the little everyday ups and downs of your life. Well, nevertheless, it's the downswings that can make you feel lost and really desperate. Now, the problem is only increased when we're experiencing those lower moments because we actually tend to forget all the good and even great things that we've experienced and accomplished regardless of how recently we just achieved them. Now, ironically, while at those high points, we tend to always fret what could go wrong. So, what's the root of this very bizarre behavior? Why are we more easily addicted to the negative side of life? Sure, we realize that some amongst us are eternal optimists and never seem to be down. But if the majority were not more compelled by the dark side, then why is the news dominated by what can and has gone wrong? The other day I had a fascinating conversation with a friend and coaching client of mine who's a former psychologist. Now, I asked him some questions about behavior modification therapy. Now, this launched an explanation of how when the mouse is placed in the maze, a pellet is actually dropped when the right path is chosen. Ultimately, the mouse gets it and easily finds the reward. Having seen the mouse finally figure it out, the analysts are able to conclude that the reward system can modify behavior. Okay, so why not just translate that to humans? After all, we do know that when we finally get it right, there's this great feeling of accomplishment. So all we have to do is rinse and repeat the behavior, right? Yet again, here we find ourselves forgetting about yesterday's victory in pellets. It's almost as if just as we finish digesting the reward, we've already forgotten the good stuff. How can this be? With the mouse, I suppose it's easy to keep on throwing them in the maze and say, well, eventually the mouse will figure it out. However, when you're a human mouse, these can be some of the most alienating and depressing words in the world. Or are they really? You see, the truth is that life really is a struggle of survival of the fittest. But that does not mean the strongest or smartest. Instead, what survival really comes down to is a relentless pursuit of moving forward. Now, after watching a video of football player Curtis Martin's induction into the Hall of Fame, I couldn't help but share the story of somebody who did figure it out. It's hard to believe that this guy could grow up in a house of incredible tragedy and abuse and then not even want to play football, only to reach the pinnacle moment for any player. You see, in spite of the fact that Curtis was not the fastest or strongest player, he did learn two things from his coach, Bill Parcells. Number one, never leave the huddle because you never know who's coming into the huddle to replace you. And number two, there are many people that work hard to get through the tough spots, but there are few that are always committed to the next level. For me, and I hope you, that was all it took to understand how to figure anything out. Hey, I'm Danny Griffin, mindset expert, with another Monday Motivation brought to you by FreeThinkingTools.com, reminding you to think and thrive. And if you have some comments, leave them right here and I'll reply to all of them. But most importantly, share this with some friends. See you next time.